Hey guys, Jeff here with some thoughts on the 2009 remake of The Stepfather. So, in the late 80s, early 90s, there was this little heyday for like the domestic horror thriller, basically domestic thriller, about someone in your family or that you live with that is dangerous and might kill you. And there's all sorts of movies like this, like Single White Female, Hand That Rocks the Cradle, blah, 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 blah. It was really popular back then. Probably the movie that sparked that little era for that subgenre was Fatal Attraction, and it's probably the best example of it. It's probably like the highest end of the spectrum in terms of quality, and down near the other end of the spectrum of schlocky thrillers that don't have a lot of brains to them, a lot of tact to them, was The Stepfather. But it was I guess a big enough hit when it came out to inspire a couple sequels. I'm pretty sure Stepfather 2 was in theaters. I think Stepfather 3 was just straight to video. But as a kid, I remember liking all of them. Uh, I don't know how well the original Stepfather holds up. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but I did see Stepfather 2 again recently, and it doesn't hold up at all. It's just garbage. Uh, but surprisingly, much to my surprise, the remake from 2009 is a little bit closer to Fatal Attraction in terms of quality than its original. So I guess in that sense, it's a good remake because it's a better movie. Now, remember, disclaimer: I haven't seen the original since I was a little kid, but if I had to compare the remake to Stepfather 2, remake wins hands down. I guess what like surprised me the most about this remake is they take time to work on the at least the family's character, if not the psycho stepfather. So if you haven't seen these movies before, the plot is very very simple. You have a psychotic man who invades families, tries to get married and become the wife's kid's dad. He tries to integrate himself into families that are either widowed or divorced, and but he's psychotic, and he's also killed families before. So he like once the world starts closing in on him again, and he thinks that they're gonna find out his secrets, and he's not who he says he is. He kills them all, moves on to the next family. That's what this series is, and the new one is it's just like the other ones in terms of the premise, but it takes time to work on the characters in the family. I kind of liked some of the characters. I cared about them a bit. I just appreciated the fact that they took some time to develop them. Um, just a little more meat on the bones. The movie's slicker than the older ones. It's got some good kills. It doesn't go for gore though. It's got some good tense moments. A lot of good stuff with cell phones. I know that's kind of becoming dated at this point. We've had cell phones in movies forever, it seems like, but they're used well here. Um, just a competently made little thriller that I think reboots the franchise in a good way. In a way I wasn't expecting it to be any good at all. I thought I was gonna hate it. But I guess what I liked about it is, like I said, they took time to build the characters first, so it's not just at least Stepfather 2. It was just like, let's get through the setup as quickly as possible so we could have him kill a bunch of people and then get to the ending, and then he gets killed in the end, and who cares? Here, they really do work to make it seem like a real family that's just has some problems, and it works. Like the main character is basically this teenage kid. I mean, he's like the guy's probably in his 20s or something, but he's supposed to be a high school kid. He just got back from military school, and because he was getting into trouble, so his mom and his dad sent him there, and he gets back and he finds out his mom's met a new man, and you know, you're it's like, people don't know if he's freaking out about this new man because, he just misses his dad, or, he's just weirded out by it, or if there's something really wrong. That's what makes these like types of movies cool, is like there's the one guy who thinks he knows what's going on, but no one believes him. They think he's crazy, but he's not crazy. The stepfather is crazy. Um, so cool little setup that there, where it's like this troubled kid who's just coming back from military school, and he's trying to win the trust of his family back, but you know he thinks there's something wrong, but he doesn't want to lose, his freedom. He doesn't want to get sent back to that school. He wants, his family's love and respect, and so he's trying to put up with this new guy who seems weird. He's doing his best. The family I liked. I thought they were well cast. Like I said, the son, yeah, he's just pretty much a pretty boy, but there is a couple scenes where he's required to act. And there's a scene where he's texting his dad, and he's so upset about everything that's going on, he starts to cry there. That I thought was well acted. I almost felt sorry for him. So no real problems with him. He does an okay job. His girlfriend is super hot. The mom is fine. I liked her. The only problem what I have really with the family is that there's just too many kids for no reason. Besides our high school student who is like our main character, uh, he has two younger siblings who are basically not used at all. Like you have a younger brother who gets freaked out by that dad one time because he tells him to turn on his video games and he grabs his neck. You have that, but there's another daughter, younger daughter, who's honestly not used at all. She just sits there at the dinner table scenes and eats food. And it's not like she's ever attacked or anything either. Like I don't even know where she is in the end parts of the movie, so it's just like if she's not even there to add to the body count, why is she even there? Why can't it just be this family should have been smaller, should have been at least one less person, like maybe just him and his younger brother, and they could have focused on them and developed the younger brother a little bit more. But I suppose when you're like complaining about things like that in a remake thriller movie called The Stepfather, I guess the movie did something okay. Dylan Walsh is the stepfather, the crazy stepfather, and he's very well cast. I think he's Dylan Walsh. Probably the biggest thing he's done besides this is he's one of the doctors on Nip Tuck, and very well cast. He plays the part well of like this anal retentive guy who's trying to be the perfect normal guy, but he's really crazy. He does a good job as in that, and I mean, I don't know how you could have got a better actor unless you're willing to go to a higher pay grade. And I don't think the movie had the budget to pick up like some big name actor. So Dylan Walsh, perfectly cast, does a good job. I guess my only complaint is the family's developed well, and they invested time into you caring about them. I would have liked to know a bit more about this crazy stepfather. That's the problem with all the stepfather movies is you don't really get his motivation. Like, yeah, I understand he has to keep running. So like when people start to figure out who he is, he has to kill the family and move on to somewhere else. But what about the first family he ever fucking killed? Why did he kill them? Like what drives him to be that mental? I don't need some big psychoanalytical explanation about it, like he was abused when he was a kid or something. I would just like a little bit more meat on the bone, maybe just a little glimpse, a little hint of what drove this guy to basically prey on families. Like I said, it's a fun movie, good stuff in it. I mean, good little tense moments. It's not a bad way to spend an hour and a half. If you're into like horror or thrillers, you're gonna have an okay time with it. Not really much to hate about it. Like I said, just I would have liked to know more about the dad. I think the family could have been a little smaller. And the other thing I liked, I'm running out of time here. The other thing I liked was the ending, which a lot of endings nowadays, it's like they don't know how to end the goddamn movie, how to have an exciting climax. Here, you get at least a good 10, 15 minutes of action and chasing people around. It's almost shot like Saving Private Ryan, where the camera's slowed down to make the image look like it's going faster. Anyway,